Hello everybody, it's Monica Heltz with your Fishers Health Department Community Risk Rating Scale update. Today is Tuesday, and that is when we do this review. Today is February 23rd, and we continue to be in our red community risk rating scale, although I will say our major metrics are now in orange. If you recall back at the beginning of when we created this risk rating scale, we did say that we would stay in the rating scale. We would want to make sure that we were really in there for 2 weeks before we actually move the needle. So our percent positivity rate right now is at 8.7%. That is in our orange category. That is the same exact percent positivity rate that it was at last week. So it actually went down a little bit and then it bounced back up. Our Fishers Health Department percent positivity rate last week was at 6.71%, and this week it's at 9.4%. So that one actually went up as well. This is one of the reasons why we want to stay and make sure that we're really lower for 2 weeks before we actually move to a different scale. Our case incidence rate continues to go down very, very nicely. So last week we were at 29, and this week we're at 19.28. So that has come down significantly. Last week we were at red on our case incidence rate, and now we are definitely in orange. We want it to be under 25 to be in orange for the case incidence rate. So all of that is really good news. Our public health capacity really remains the same. Our testing availability is very strong. You can get an appointment the same day very easily. So less than 1 day for testing availability. Our testing turnaround has gone down where the average is under 2 days. So most people are getting their results between 1 and 2 days, usually around 30 to 36 hours after their testing. Tracing capacity remains very high. We continue to get everyone notified within 24 hours of us receiving the notification that you are positive. So we're going to keep those indicators where they are. All of those are in green. Our healthcare capacity is good as well. I'm actually moving both of those indicators to green right now. Our hospital capacity is sufficient. Our hospitalizations remain steady, and in fact, we have the lowest number of admissions that we have seen since March of last year. So that is pretty incredible. We've definitely come a long way, and it's really just satisfying to report on some positive news for once. I do have a couple of caveats about all of this great news. Our variants that you may have heard about on the national news or perhaps even the state reports, we have seen a total of 16 cases of this UK variant in Indiana. There's a total of 1,661 in the US as of today. But I will give the caveat that the CDC has only tested 0.1% of the samples in Indiana. So we know that there are far more than 16. The thing about this variant is that it spreads, it's about 50% more contagious or more infectious. And so that can have real implications in groups, particularly that are not vaccinated yet. So we could see those numbers increase. We haven't yet reported any Brazilian or South African variants in the state of Indiana, but we are seeing those in a number of states so far. But again, the CDC is only testing 0.1% of the samples for Indiana. So just a few caveats. As far as where the UK variant is spreading the most, it is currently spreading the most in Florida. 23% of all of the detected cases so far are in Florida. We again know that those rates are much higher than 300 and some that have been reported so far because they are only testing a small sample. So if you're traveling to Florida, please keep that in mind. If you're going out of the United States, the CDC has some new guidelines for travel, and there are some travel restrictions. So you want to make sure that you research that wherever you are going. If you're going out of the country, you will be advised to quarantine. You may need to symptom monitor, and you will need a test to get back in the country. So keep that in mind with any testing activity or with any traveling activities. We are offering at our testing site some rapid testing capabilities. So if you are symptomatic, you may be asked if you would like a rapid test. You can still get a PCR test if you prefer. The rapid test is not quite as accurate, but it is considered a true positive if you are symptomatic when you receive that test. So keep that in mind. That's a service that we are offering. In even better news, we have provided 5,879 vaccines to our residents and to other people who have used our site, and we have completed one more long-term care facility. We finished their second doses today. The next two are tomorrow and Thursday, and then all of our long-term care facilities should have received both doses of their vaccine. Our homebound second shots start next week, so we're excited about that. We continue to add a few people into our homebound list. So if you are homebound and you are in need of a vaccine, you can call us and we'll get you scheduled, or you can get on our vaccine interest list and we'll get you scheduled that way. But we do want to make sure that you understand that you will be taken care of. Just let us know. As far as other news, the only other thing I have is to let you know that next week this report will be taken over by our epidemiologist. His name is Josh Robinson, and I will be giving kind of a newsy sort of update on a different day of the week. We haven't quite settled on the day, maybe Thursday. So if you have a preference, you can let us know. But Josh will be doing the metric review. He's the one that collects all this data anyway. So he'll be the one updating it from going forward. And I think you'll like him. He is a very qualified individual. He is a candidate for his doctorate in public health. And he has a lot of experience in epidemiology. So we're very excited to have him, and I'm excited to have him provide you guys with the metrics. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys take care. Be safe out there. Thanks. Goodbye.